Hello everyone, my name is Dalton and welcome back to my channel. God, it has been a very long time. I have been going through it, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So in February, I started a brand new job, so I took some getting used to that. And then me and my significant other of like 3.5 years, we decided to end things. So like I have just been going through it physically with the new job and different hours and that sort of stuff, and like emotionally I've just been not in a great place. So I really haven't been reading a whole lot. I'm starting to kind of get back into it a little bit, but it's still touch and go. I've really just been trying to like have fun, and it's not that I don't have fun reading, it's just that sometimes when I'm trying to read, my brain just can't focus on what's going on. And other times I sit down and I can read 200 pages and have no issues. So we're working through that, but I'm back. Just keeping it real light today. Today I really just want to talk about books that I want to read this summer. This is the best day to do this because it's like 80 degrees. It was sunny out. It's not that sunny anymore, but it's just beautiful out. So it's making me think of summer and I want to get out of the house. I actually sat outside a little bit yesterday and got sunburnt, so that's fun. But without further ado, let's get into some books that I want to read this summer. Like I said, I've been kind of struggling to like actually focus on books. So I really wanted to like just read a series that wouldn't take me like a lot to focus on it. Like I'm not losing anything if I don't take in every single word and like every single thing that happens, you know what I mean? So I started rereading the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. You can't really tell what this one is because I've read this copy a couple times, but this is Queen of Shadows. Currently on the fourth book. I've been enjoying the reread. I really liked the first book. I didn't realize when I reread it how much world building is actually in that book, like that sets up stuff for later books. So that was really interesting. Wasn't a huge fan of the second book, but I didn't like that love interest that much. Third book was good. I just felt like I cared about Selena the most and not the other side characters. So far, so good. This book, I read like 100 pages or so yesterday. I'm currently 178 pages into it. So I want to continue on with this series. And then I want to get to Empire of Storms and Kingdom of Ash at some point this summer. Not sure when. So far, I've actually been like reading them back to back to back, which is very strange for me. I don't normally do that with books. But I've also just like, because of everything going on, I just haven't really wanted to like change it up and try to read something brand new that I've never read before. Just because I don't want to struggle to focus or anything and not really like take in the whole book. You know what I mean? But at some point this summer, I am going to read these two, and I'm excited about them, especially this book. I love this book. This and Queen of Shadows are my two favorite books in this series. I think I've reread this one 2 or 3 times as well as Queen of Shadows. I'm excited to reread this book. I remember not loving the ending, but there was a whole lot about this book that I did really enjoy when it first came out and I read it, so I am looking forward to giving it a second go. And then we're just going to keep on with the Sarah J. Maas, and I want to start the Crescent City books. Bought this. I just took a trip to Michigan not too long ago with a couple of my friends, and we went book shopping, so I just picked this up because I already own this one. And I do think this cover is really beautiful. Like the white and the blue just do it for me. I think it's so stunning. I love it. But I bought this one when it first came out. I think I tried to read it. I got like 20 pages in and wasn't really feeling it. So I just put it down. This is they're huge books. They're like 800 pages or so. I'm not expecting a whole lot. I know there's going to be romance. I'm expecting some sort of like kind of background fantasy plot. I think there's a murder mystery in the first book. Not sure what goes on in the second book. Haven't heard the best things about the second book, to be honest. But like I said, I just need something that I can kind of like lose track of myself in and not really care too much if I'm getting every single bit of information from the story. So then this is another book that I've actually started, and I was really enjoying it. But again, I just felt like I wasn't getting everything that the story demanded of me to understand. And that is These Violent Delights by Micah Nemirever, maybe? I thought this book was so well written and I liked it so much. I loved the characters. Everything was working for me when I started this on the car ride home from Michigan. However, once I was home for some reason, I just could not focus on this, and I didn't think I was doing this book justice. I think I got like 50 or 60 pages in, 54 pages in. I am so excited to actually pick this up and like sit through it and get through it. I think it's like my perfect book. I think it has to do, obviously, like childhood trauma. I know the one main character, his dad has passed away. It's kind of like just an unspoken secret, like that the family just doesn't talk about it. And then another boy comes into his life and he's like infatuated with him. Another unspoken secret is the main character's sexuality and that sort of thing. Set in a school setting, a university setting, which I enjoy for the most part all the time. So I'm interested. I am looking forward to getting to this. I think I'll really love it. It's either I will give this 1 star or I will give this 5 stars from what I've read so far, and I'm excited to give it 5 stars. So, another book that I started on my Michigan trip is Lie With Me by Philip Beeson. I was not a huge fan of the writing in this. It's super short. My friend gave it to me because she was like, "Do you like this?" I read 3 pages and I didn't. So then I started reading it on our trip and I didn't like it. But then I came home and read a few more pages and I did like it. And then I read a few more pages and then I was back to not liking it. I don't know if the translation is weird or what's going on with this, but I really just I wasn't feeling it fully. But with that being said, I would like to actually give this a try, and it's super short. It's like 150 pages or something. So I could probably knock this out in a day pretty easily as long as I sit there and actually focus on it. But we'll see what happens with this one. The next book that I want to get to this summer is Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. Obviously, I should read Winter's Orbit in summer. Am I right? Right? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know a whole lot about this except for I think it's like a space opera with 2 gay main characters, and the author kind of just delves into the trauma of one of the main characters. I think there might be like a murder mystery or something else going on too. I just know that it's queer and I want to read it. And it's a space opera, which I don't really read a whole lot of sci-fi. The last sci-fi that I can like remember reading is Dune, and I hated that. So hopefully I like this more than Dune. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna read Winter's Orbit in the summer. It does have kind of a summery cover though. It's a lot of pinks and oranges and stuff, and yellows. But yeah, I'm excited. Another book that I picked up not too long ago is Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. I know nothing about this other than it has one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen. I think there's a thief in this. That's about it. I know it's written by 2 people. M.A. Carrick is like a pen name for 2 authors who wrote this book. I've heard great things about this, but like I said, I know nothing about it. It's pretty chunky. It's a huge fantasy novel. I think it's 600 something pages. But I am excited to read this and see what I think about it. Then I've talked about this book quite a few times now, and that is The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois by Honoré Fanon Jeffers. Still haven't got to this. Had I not gotten my heart broken in February, I might have. I started it in December, but I just wasn't in the mood to read it. And by that, I mean, I had a library copy and I was loving some of the writing, so I really wanted to like tab it up and annotate it and that sort of stuff, and I just couldn't do that. But I knew that I was going to get a copy of this for Christmas, so I figured I should just like put it on hold and wait and pick it back up. And I just have not had time to do that. This is another one though that I'm going to have to like actually sit there and focus on because the story is complex and the writing is so beautiful and lyrical that I don't want to miss any of this. So this will probably be, if I'm not feeling better, probably like a later summer read, but we'll see. But I am super, super excited to get back into this because I did love what I had read. Now, I've read one of her novels already this year, and that is Hana Yanagihara, I Read to Paradise, and I want to read The People in the Trees because I haven't read it yet. I loved A Little Life, and I loved To Paradise. Both of them were like 4-star books. There's always something keeping me from giving her a 5-star, But the one thing that I will give her a 5-star on every single time is her writing. Hana Yanagihara has some of the best writing I think I have ever read, ever. I love her writing so much, and I will read anything by her from now on after only reading those 2 books, just because I want to see how she writes and what she's writing about. I don't know a whole lot about this. I think it has to do with sexual assault and trauma, as most of her books do, honestly. But I am so excited. This is another one that I'll probably have to push off a little bit further until I'm in a better headspace. But I am super excited to read this. The next book that I got and want to read during the summer is another book that I picked up on my Michigan trip when we were in a bookshop in Ann Arbor, and that is Stamped from the Beginning, The Definitive History of Racist Ideas in America. I just feel like I have not read any nonfiction since college, and I've graduated almost 2 years ago now, and this is thick. It's a big nonfiction book, but I read the preface of this one night after we got back to our Airbnb and we're just chilling, and I loved it. I was so glad that I picked it up, and I'm so excited to get to it. It's probably going to take me a long time, so I'll probably just start reading like a chapter here and there just to kind of get through it whenever I can or whenever I'm in the mood. But this is definitely a book that I want to get through this summer. As I've mentioned with like the last 4 books though, I don't know if I could read it and start it like right now. It might take me a little bit longer just because of emotional things and brain focusing on things, but hopefully we will get through it, and I am super excited to read it, so yeah. All right, guys, that is the list of books that I want to read this summer. Let me know what you want to read. Let me know if you're loving the weather outside or if it's not nice. Don't tell me about that because I don't want to know if it's raining and crappy where you live. But I hope the weather is nice where you live. But yeah, let me know what you're wanting to read this summer. If you have any plans, any trips or anything, let me know that too. That is it. Peace out. Bye.